most exciting things about classic cars isn't how they look, how they sound, how they feel to drive. It's actually the experiences that you can unlock with them. And if you're into racing and you're into your racing history, you might know about Le Mans and the 24-hour races that started in the 20s. And there was this startup motor company called Bentley who went there and they won their second race at Le Mans in 1924. We were lucky enough to be invited back to a celebration of that, a reenactment of the 1924 race, a 24-hour race with 25 very, very old Bentleys, and we jumped at the chance.
Welcome. We try to make this as brief as we can because we've got a lot of cars to get on the circuit, on track, lined up to start, and we can hit on, and we want to get some pictures. So we won't get as quick as we can. You're about to make history. Be safe and enjoy because the world is watching.
The race was to run to the 1924 rules, which was a test of reliability of the car. So you had to run to your car, put the hood up, use the starter motor to get the engine going, and then pull away. We wanted to get some practice in before the race.
Over there, over here like this. Bastard. And then that run around. Come on. Good to go. Can you hop? I'll pre-open that door.
Yeah, leave that like that, and then you can clip that one in, jump in. I'm weak.
The hood practice done, I jumped in the car and pulled to the start line alongside 24 other Bentleys, all around 100 years old, for the start of the race. Here we are, before the start, chatting strategy, working out what our position is, feeling a bit scared about having the longest minimum distance of everybody in the whole race by a good 20 laps. But we'll see how we do, give it our best. Amazingly, all the cars got their hoods up, got their engines started, and they got away safely. We had to put 10 laps in with the hood up, which I did, and then pulled into the pits to hand over to Anthony. Oh, so we've done the first 10 laps. Cracking. Yeah, we got past everybody, I think, and we got our first pit stop in about 2 laps before everyone else. We obviously got a decent handicap, but yeah, went pretty well. It was all going so well. Anthony's first hour at the wheel went without a hitch, but then sadly, as we passed the hour mark, our fortunes were about to change.
Safety car deployed, safety car deployed.
Despite the decent shunt into the gravel, Anthony managed to get the car going again, got it back on track, and came back to the pits for diagnosis.
Do you want that drum off? No, it's got to turn its wing off.
The boys at Kingsbury Racing jumped to it. We thought we'd fix the issues, we popped the wheel back on, and that's when we discovered we'd bent our inch-thick half shaft in the impact.
It wasn't tight, it wasn't anywhere near as tight.
I wonder if did he clip the actual spinner?
Let's put the wheel back on, put it in first, and just see what it looks like on stance.
I'd overtaken a car driven by Frosty, and then I came up behind, I think it was car 20. As we went around the corner, I didn't want to overtake him then, so I stayed behind him. You
Okay,
I'm fine, yeah.
After a little kiss and some sugar and a new half shaft expertly installed by Lewis in 10 minutes, the car was ready to test.
Click the thing over. Make sure your gear gate's over.
Anthony was nursing some sore ribs, so I took the car back out to test. And it worked. The most amazing thing about these old Bentleys is they're so over-engineered that an incident like this that would probably have taken a normal open-wheeled car out for the rest of the race was resolvable in 10 minutes, and we cracked on with climbing up the leaderboard. I handed over to Ewan as day turned to dusk, and we soon found out the problem with period-correct lighting as the sun set. The main issue at night wasn't the lack of vision from our candle-like headlamps, it was the tastefully upgraded competition, that when you passed them, their LED spotlights would blind out our aero screen, making it impossible to see the apex. There was nothing for it but to develop our night vision, get into a flow, and then the temperatures dropped, the car was on form, and we started really enjoying ourselves. We did see a couple of safety cars deployed in the night to recover stricken vehicles, but the amazing thing, considering most of these were 100 years old, were how few mechanical issues there were. Our fuel was lasting us about 2 hours. Ewan handed over to Lewis for a refill at about 10 p.m.
Dark, fast, everyone's driving nicely. I'm trying not to use the tyres up too much because I know that they've got to last another 17 hours or something. Car's running beautifully, really nice. So Lewis will now set some new lap records. And let's see if the car lasts a whole full 24 hours.
I think I don't do it. No, I'm not getting in there.
So we rack up a fair few road miles in this, our 1925 3-litre Bentley, and those normally involve a fair bit of spannering to keep the bits that have vibrated off tightened up. The amazing thing about this race is all of these 100-year-old cars were being pushed to the limit on a real racetrack, and despite that, very few bits were falling off. Or so we thought. As Lewis came in and handed the car over to me, things were starting to sound a bit exhausty.
Yeah, it was good. All good. Just trying not to break it, really. Trying to get through the night, and then we'll push on properly in the morning, probably. But yeah, all good. A few yellows, nothing serious. Time for a drink and a sleep.
As we pressed on through the night, some of the collateral damage from the earlier shunt came back to haunt us. The last corner was a fast sweeping right-hander, and the back of the car started feeling really loose. I pulled in and we found that we'd lost 3 or 4 spokes off the wheel, a result of the early damage.
Biscuit. It's 6 a.m. and just back in from stint number 4. The car is running perfectly apart from the 2 wings that we've lost, the exhaust that we've lost, the oil leak, yeah, the oil leak everywhere. We've lost more stuff, but I can't remember. But what a car! Yeah, it's getting a bit slippery out there. Tyres are struggling. I'm going to go for a lie down.
Use power tool for too long.
Yeah.
Like every time you touch it, it's like tingly.
These are our blisters.
Win. Just one.
Come in.
One fat finger.
And broken finger.
The never-ending dark bit carried on, and despite a couple more stops for oil and to tear off the remainders of our shattered exhaust, the car battled on. And then finally, after what felt like a very long time, the sun came up. The exhaust had basically disintegrated by this point, and the car was making a hell of a noise. We were making the local boy racers proud.
Well, it's lovely to see the sunshine again. I can see where the road goes now. Much less guesswork. It's much nicer driving in the daylight. The car's sounding a bit rough, but hopefully it'll hold together till the end of the day.
Oh, we've broken this tube here, this oil tube.
You just crimp the line.
We noticed a drop in oil pressure and a decent puddle underneath the car at the next pit stop, and it turned out we'd broken one of the thin copper oil pipes that feeds the cross shaft at the front of the engine. Another quick fix with some Jubilee clips would hopefully last us the rest of the race.
Try again.
Coffee's gone cold, it's a nightmare. We broke the oil feed to the cross shaft, which is a little tiny copper pipe that was spraying oil out, so it took us a little while to work out where it was spraying from, because we got flagged in by the marshals. So we hope that our fix holds, which is a little rubber pipe, Jubilee clips over the top of it, and we hope the car carries on. We've got, what we've got left to run? 6 hours or something. Fingers crossed.
Lewis cracked on and amazingly, despite the condition of the car, managed to put in a new lap record.
So during our accident earlier in the day, we must have broken this weld here, so the tailpipe fell off. And then probably 3 or 4 hours later, we lost the silencer, as you can see. Now that's gone by and been run over by someone, but we did get it back at least, so we can use that.
It's rusty.
And then our good friend Tom, the tyre racker, has. So we have this one that's got some spoke damage. The tyre with a nice big screw of some form in it. So that left us with one wheel to do probably 18 hours as a spare. So we'll see if we survive.
Anthony was back, sadly nursing some sore ribs, but it was great to see him back in the pits as the team wrestled the car to the end. Hours from the end, it was time for what was likely my final time in the car. Taking it back out on track with the heat and the noise from the new straight pipe exhaust was a bit of a shock. But the amazing thing about this car is that the engine and brakes were just as strong as when I'd taken it off the line 20 hours prior. This was undoubtedly the best session. Pushing the car, being able to see again, whilst not getting too excited and making sure we got the car home.
Well, it's hot. It's over for me, I think. Hooray! It's really cool out there because it's grippy and lovely and fast, and the car is sounding like a bag of nails, but it's still going strong. So, fingers crossed. You still can make one.
We nursed the car back. We nursed the car back. The car's fine. It's falling apart a bit. The outside front tyre is pretty worn, a bit ceremonial more than functional. We just put our last spare wheel on there. Lewis is going to take the car home. So it's an hour and a half. Let's see if we can get it home in P1. Fingers crossed. So Lewis rightfully took the last stint, having helped keep the car together during the race. And as the last hour ticked down, he helped P1 to take the car over the line first.
Cheers. He's still alive. He's having his photo up.
What an experience. Most of these 100-year-old cars made it home after 24 hours of continuous hard racing, a testament to why these Bentleys continue to have a special place in many people's hearts. A huge thanks to Ewan and the Kingsbury team for having us along and letting us race his family heirloom, and a huge well done to Benjafields for keeping the spirit of classic racing alive.